Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. Gonna be giving you my player ratings from our 1-0 win against Wolves yesterday night. So David De Gea, I'm gonna give him a 7 out of 10. I thought he made some very good saves in the game. And like I've said, David De Gea has enjoyed some good games this season. He's also enjoyed a couple of bad games as well, and there's been games where he hasn't really had much to do. But I said he will remain our number one this season. There has been a lot of Manchester United fans though saying that Dean Henderson should be our number one. David De Gea has been a long servant at the club. This is his 10th season at Manchester United, and he has made over 500 appearances for the club in all competitions. So yeah, 7 out of 10 for David De Gea. Wan-Bissaka, I'm going to give him a 6 out of 10. Did get forward a couple of times, but I just don't think he was that consistent. And the thing that concerns me about Wan-Bissaka is his lack of attacking intent and his distribution. Wan-Bissaka has just come back from injury, by the way. So yeah, 6 out of 10 for him. Eric Bailly, I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10. Like I mentioned on my match reaction, I thought he enjoyed a very good game. Made some good interceptions. He had a careless moment, but prior to that did well, and he covered up well for Harry Maguire's error that he made in the game. Eric Bailly's done well since he started playing again, and I certainly prefer him over Victor Lindelof. My only element of concern about Bailly is that he's too injury prone. So yep, 7 out of 10 for him. And don't forget, Bailly also played a part in the Cavani goal, but obviously that Cavani goal was disallowed. Harry Maguire, I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10. Enjoyed a pretty good game. Committed a few fouls in the first half, but prior to that I thought he defended very well and a few times showed that ability to play out from the back. It's good to see Harry Maguire bounce back from his early season troubles, because don't forget, before the start of the season he had that incident in Greece. Did Harry Maguire. He's not a world-class centre-half, and he certainly wasn't worth the £80 million that we got him for, but I still think he is good, and he is our current captain. Solskjaer was saying prior to the game against Wolves that he lauds Harry Maguire for playing more minutes than anybody in the world in 2020. Alex Telles, he's going to get a 6 out of 10. He didn't enjoy the best of games. You can say a couple of times he was proactive in the final third, but his crossing wasn't to his usual standards, Alex Telles. By the way, Alex Telles went off injured in the game. I think that's why he came off. Paul Pogba, now I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10. Now, Paul Pogba wasn't too good in the first half, but I thought in the second half he improved. He started to create chances, had that long range effort, good save from the Wolves goalkeeper. And I thought he played some very good passes at times. So yeah, he's going to get a 7 out of 10. We are expecting Paul Pogba to leave the football club next year. He has had a long running transfer saga. Now there's been a lot of narratives of him going back to Juventus. Swap deals have been high on the agenda. It recently said that Juventus have offered us Adrien Rabiot and Aaron Ramsey in exchange for Paul Pogba. It says we will let Paul Pogba go, but we want a world-class player in exchange. So yeah. And Fabrizio Romano recently said that Paul Pogba will 100% leave Manchester United next summer. Now, before, he's been linked to a move to Real Madrid. PSG, Barcelona and Inter Milan have been in for him before. Now, earlier on in the season, we triggered that 1-year extension on his contract, so he's under contract with Man United until June 2022. As far as I'm aware at the moment, there has been no talks over getting him a long-term contract at the club. Earlier on in the season, he had that ankle injury, but Ollie confirmed that ankle injury was totally comparison to the one that he had last season, because he was out for the vast majority of last season. But since he's come back from the ankle injury, he's made a fantastic impact. Pogba's agent Mini Raiola made an announcement just before the game against RB Leipzig saying that Paul Pogba has got no intention of signing a new contract. He said he's unhappy and he has to leave Manchester United, and he did say that his career is over at the club. Then obviously made a fresh statement after that. Solskjaer was furious with Mini Raiola's announcement, because like I said, it was just before the game against RB Leipzig. This is Paul Pogba's 5th season at the football club since he rejoined. He's won the Europa League, the League Cup and the Community Shield at Man United. He's made over 100 appearances for the club in all competitions. He's our most expensive signing at the moment because we paid £89 million for Paul Pogba. So yeah. Nemanja Matic, I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10. I thought he controlled the midfield quite well. Helped our backline, did Matic. He's enjoyed some good games as a Man United player, but you know that I've still got my reservations about him because he's aging up now. He's Matic. And he's always been a slow player. He had some good games though towards the end of last season. Was it back in July, if I'm right? He signed a 3-year contract with the club. We got him in a deal worth £40 million from Chelsea. So 7 out of 10 for Matic. Bruno Fernandes, I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10. I don't think he was outstanding, Bruno Fernandes. But obviously, he got the assist for Marcus Rashford's late goal. It was a lovely threaded through ball as well. Bruno Fernandes had our best chance of the first half. Came from a lovely cross from Mason Greenwood. But yeah, Bruno Fernandes has definitely made the difference in this team. He's been at Manchester United now for almost a year. You know, he's scored a lot of goals. He's provided assists. He's good at creating chances. Don't forget, last month he won Player of the Month for November. He's won Player of the Month now quite a few times, reflecting on his good performances. Bruno Fernandes did say, didn't he? He came to Manchester to win trophies, and he was disappointed last season when obviously we didn't win a trophy. Marcus Rashford, I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10. Marcus Rashford obviously scored in the 93rd minute of stoppage time. The goal was obviously very fortuitous because it got deflected off Romain Saiz. So yeah, the goal was very, very fortuitous, but we don't care. But I thought prior to the goal, Marcus Rashford was not outstanding. Recently had a shoulder problem. Now, Mason Greenwood, he's going to get a 5 out of 10. I thought he struggled in the game, Mason Greenwood. He did okay in parts in the first half, like I said. He put the ball into the box for Bruno Fernandes' great chance. But prior to that, didn't really do much Mason Greenwood. By the way, Ollie has been defending Mason Greenwood a lot this season. This is his second season in our senior squad, so yeah, just a 5 out of 10 for him. Edison Cavani, 6 out of 10. He didn't really get a lot of service, Edison Cavani, did he? So he was actually quite in the game, looked isolated. Like I mentioned earlier on, had that disallowed goal. It was the correct decision, by the way. Solskjaer was saying prior to the game against Wolves that Edison Cavani is definitely a starter for Manchester United. And he said that Man United want to extend his contract. We did get Cavani on a free transfer on deadline day, signed a 1-year contract with the club with an option of a second year. Didn't he? But Edison Cavani, like I said, has enjoyed a fantastic start to his Manchester United career. Solskjaer revealed the first thing Cavani asked him when he came, and that's if he could wear the famous number 7 shirt. Don't forget, Cavani, earlier on in the season, got charged by the FA for misconduct for the racist comment that he put on social media last month. Apparently he's got until the 4th of July to respond to these charges. If he's found guilty, he will face a 3-match ban, that's minimum. Don't forget Cavani, Chochi every minute in the 2-0 win against Everton. You know, will he get a punishment for that? So yeah. We brought some substitutions on in the game yesterday night. Luke Shaw came on, going to give him a 7 out of 10. I thought he made an instant impact when he came on, made some very, very good runs down that left-hand side. Solskjaer was saying prior to the game that Luke Shaw's improved and he's created a good relationship with Marcus Rashford on that left, and he's a talented boy. Anthony Martial, he's going to get a 6 out of 10. I don't think he was too good when he came on, Anthony Martial. He wasted a couple of opportunities. And Scott McTominay, he's going to get a 6 out of 10. So that is your player ratings from our 1-0 win against Wolves. We are now second in the Premier League. We are just 2 points behind Liverpool, and we have got a game in hand. So you can certainly say that we are in the title race. And it is our 3rd win at Old Trafford in the Premier League this season. Solskjaer has sent a title warning. He insists that Manchester United are not in the title race yet. He said he will believe we are title contenders if we are still competing at the top come March. But Solskjaer said a few times earlier on this season that Manchester United can win the Premier League. Obviously in the game yesterday night, Fred didn't play any part, like I mentioned on my match reaction. Donny van der Beek, he didn't play any part. Why did we sign Donny van der Beek? You know, he seldom starts in the Premier League. He's only started 2 league games this season. He gets more chances in like the cup games, does Donny van der Beek. Obviously Lindelof didn't play any part because he was out with injury. He came off injured in the 2-2 draw with Leicester, and he started at right back in the 2-2 draw with Leicester. And, you know, Ollie made around 6 changes from our 2-2 draw with Leicester. I did say, though, he would have made changes. But yeah, we are certainly in the title race, definitely. From a Wolves perspective, they'll be very, very disappointed to not come away with anything because, like I mentioned on my match reaction, Wolves played well, especially in the first half. They kept the ball well, had some good chances in the game, passed the ball well, looked very good from set pieces. I thought their best player was Roman Saiz. Had some chances, the one chance where he hit the crossbar. Neto had a pretty good game for them. Adama Traore looked threatening in the first half. Vitina, he played quite well for Wolves. That was his first start in the Premier League for Wolves. I thought Hoover also played well. That was his first start in the Premier League for Wolves. Nouri, he also enjoyed a good game. He had a good chance in the second half, but it was produced a fantastic save from David De Gea. You know, Wolves are a pretty good team. They haven't been as consistent though this season as they have been in recent years. You can say that there was missing Raul Jimenez yesterday night because he's the one that gives Wolves the cutting edge. And I think if Wolves had had Raul Jimenez, maybe they would have been more clinical in front of goal. They obviously had no Dendoncker and they had no Johnny because obviously they're out with injury. We played Wolves 4 times across all competitions last season. Both games in the league were draws. We drew with them 0-0 at Old Trafford. That was obviously when Bruno Fernandes made his debut for the club, and we drew with them 1-1 at Molineux. And we played them twice in the FA Cup because the first game was a draw, but we beat them in the replay 1-0. Wolves beat us twice nearly a couple of years ago. They beat us 2-1 at Molineux in the league, and they beat us 2-1 in the FA Cup quarter-final. So that season, Wolves got to their first FA Cup semi-final in 21 years. But Nuno Santo, he is a good manager. He has been at Wolves now for quite a few years. And don't forget, they lost Jota during the summer. That was a blow to them because Jota was definitely one of their key players that they did have. They also lost Matt Doherty. But yeah, now we can't get too excited. You know, we've got to focus on his next game, and that is Aston Villa. It's on the 1st of January, which is Friday. It's 8 o'clock kickoff. And Aston Villa isn't going to be an easy game because Villa have been in a good vein of form recently. You know, they're sitting 5th in the Premier League, and that's very, very good to Aston Villa's standards. They recently drew 1-1 with Chelsea. They thrashed Liverpool this season 7-2. They won at Leicester 1-0. They won away at Arsenal 3-0. You know, Villa have got some good players in their team. Obviously, probably their best player is Jack Grealish. He's one of their key players. Don't forget, we've been relentlessly linked with Jack Grealish. Ollie Watkins, I think he's one of their key players. He's made an impact at Villa. Villa brought him in earlier on this year. They've got that Bertrand Traore. He's one of their key players. They brought him in earlier on this year. They've got that Anwar Al Ghazi. He's one of their key players. They've got that Trezeguet. He's one of their key players. He's been out with injury. They've got Matty Cash, who they brought in earlier on this year. They brought, obviously, Ross Barkley in on loan earlier on this year. I think he's been out with injury. I also rate Tyrone Mings as well. And, you know, to be honest with you, Dean Smith isn't a bad manager. Certainly isn't the worst manager in the Premier League. It was a 2-2 draw at Old Trafford against Villa last season. If I can recall rightly, didn't Jack Grealish score a very, very good goal? But we did beat them at Villa Park 3-0. I think the last time Villa beaten us at Old Trafford was back in 2009 when Agbanya Hall scored. We had a very good game against Villa back in 2013 when obviously Robin Van Persie scored that hat-trick. That was obviously the game that won us a title that season. After Villa, it's Manchester City in the Carabao Cup semi-final. That's going to be a very, very big game for Man United. Definitely the Carabao Cup is a priority for us because it is a chance of us winning a trophy this season. We haven't won a trophy now for almost 4 years, and we haven't won a trophy under the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer era as yet. And the Europa League, that's a chance of us winning a trophy because we are in that. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's job for now is safe at Manchester United. He's no longer under pressure. He has been under pressure a few times though since he got appointed in as Man United manager, because obviously we've endured bad periods under him. And obviously there has been talks of Pochettino coming in, but Pochettino's obviously now not coming in. Massimiliano Allegri's been on our agenda a few times. So too was Julian Nagelsmann and Thomas Tuchel. He was once on our agenda. Like I said, I don't know if Ole is the right manager for Man United. I'm not going to say, he's the right manager and he's going to succeed at the club, because I'm not sure as yet. Time will tell. But his priority, Solskjaer's, is leading the club to long-term success. He will certainly be Man United manager in the new year, and he could still be Man United manager at the end of this season. Like I've said, it depends on how things go from now until the end of the season. Like I said to you, I do have my concerns about Solskjaer, because his decision making is a concern, because in a lot of his games at Man United he has made mistakes and it has cost us. But there's been some games where he has showed tactical flexibility. Let's be honest, Ole isn't a manager at the top level. He hasn't really got a proven pedigree, because before he came to Man United, he was at Molde. He won a few Norwegian titles at Molde, but they're not a big club. And before Molde, he was at Cardiff, and his record at Cardiff was disastrous. But Ole certainly does deserve more time at the club, and hopefully can become a success. This is his second full season at Manchester United, and he always said this season was going to be a big season for him. He's been at the club now for just over 2 years. Earlier on this month, it was his 2-year anniversary at the football club. He's managed over 100 games now as Manchester United manager in all competitions. He's under contract with us until 2022. But you've got to give Ole credit. The way he has approached some games, you've got to give him credit for getting us to the Carabao Cup semi-final this season. You've got to give him credit for getting us up to second in the league this season. There's no way in a million years I thought we'd have been second, with how poor we was at the start of the season. I'm gutted that we're not in the Champions League, because I thought we'd have got to knockout stages, because we enjoyed a good start in Europe, went and won at PSG 2-1, beating RB Leipzig 5-0, and then after that it all went downhill. You've got to credit Solskjaer for what he did in his first full season last season. He got us to 3 semi-finals, got us qualification for the Champions League, and also got us third. He's made some good signings since he got appointed in. He's spent over £200 million and he's enjoyed 4 transfer windows at the club. The January transfer window will be his 5th transfer window as Man United manager. We've also seen a lot of players leave the club since he got recommended in. But basically what Solskjaer's saying is, if we can make signings and all of that, then he believes we can be where we want to be. Like winning major honours and stuff like that. We've already revealed our transfer plans. We're looking to strengthen up in 4 positions. There is a lot of players on our agenda. We're also going to focus on the outgoings next year as well as the incomings, because there is still deadwood at the football club that we need to get rid of. And touch wood, Solskjaer gets the backing he deserves in the January transfer window and the summer transfer window, if he's still here, which he probably will be. Because during the summer transfer window, he wasn't backed enough by the board. The board has been one of the biggest problems at the club for several years, because, like I've mentioned before, our recruitment policy's been gash, and they haven't backed any of the managers that we've had since Sir Alex Ferguson left. You know what I mean? And let's put into the equation, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is inheriting a squad that is worth, £800 million? The vast majority of this team is Jose Mourinho's. If we do win the Premier League, it will be our 21st title, because we're on 20 titles at the moment. And it will be our first Premier League title since 2013. I'm still sceptical we'll win it this season, but I think maybe next season we could win it, or maybe the season after. We will have to see anyway. I think the players we could sign next year is Jadon Sancho. There's a good chance we could sign him. There's a good chance we could also sign Jack Grealish as well. But we shall see. Not long now till the January transfer window opens. So anyway guys, that's everything to update you today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon.